Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Lead, Sell, Grow, the Human Experience Podcast. I hope you're doing well. I'm just playing with my notes here because I prepared what I think is going to be one of the most inspiring episodes yet. Before I get into that, I want to first thank you for being with me over the last 3 years of doing this episode or doing this podcast, this show. It's because of you that I continue to do it. The messages that I get, the advice that I guess people take away from here. So I want to thank you. I'm going to continue to pour into you with what I know, with what I learn. I'm going to continue to grow so that I can do more and more and add more value to you. But here's what I know. Nothing is going to change. Like if you don't actually take the information you're learning and go do something with it, nothing is going to change. We tend to love learning new things. I'll share one with you that I just heard this week and it just blew my mind, right? I'll share it in this episode. It's really cool. But nothing's going to change if I don't do anything with it. Nothing. So listen to this episode with the intent to improve an area of your life that you may be stuck in, that you may be, I don't know, that you may be having doubts about yourself in. Maybe there's something that's bothering you. Listen to this episode with that intent, with the intent to take action and improve a specific area in your life that you know needs improving. And I don't know what that is for you. Okay. I really don't know what that is for you. But what I do know is that I'm going to deliver. I'm going to try to over deliver. I'm going to give you some good content. So here we go. By the way, if you're not, subscribed to this channel yet, or wherever you're listening to, if you want to see me talking, go to YouTube, check this episode out. And if you're on YouTube watching, hit subscribe. Would love, love, love to grow this channel a little bit more and get the word out. If this episode resonates with you, send it to somebody you know. And that's one way that you can show me that you liked it. And leave a comment. Let me know. Would love to chat with you in there. Anyway, here we go. Okay. So I have the belief. Now, this isn't a belief that I was born with. It's a belief that I've developed, or I could say it's a belief that I've created for myself, that everything we want is possible for us. Everything you want is possible for you. Everything I want is possible for me. All I'm saying is that it's possible. All right. Hear me out. If we think that something is possible, like if there's a possibility, you crack that door a little bit open. What most people do is they murder any chance of it being possible when it's just a little embryo in the idea state. So you get this idea, I want to start a business, or I want to, let's say you're in sales, I want to cold call on the CEO of pick a company, right? I want to cold call Elon Musk. And right away, boom. Who am I? Who am I to do that? Why would he take my call? Oh, it's impossible. I bet I have to call like 1-800-Tesla and I can't figure out the number and blah, 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 blah. And we abort. The whole idea gets aborted right then and there. What I want you to do in that case, though, from here on out, this is one of the takeaways that I challenge you to do, is just pause. As soon as these thoughts come in, just recognize, where are these thoughts coming from? They're coming from a place of fear. They're coming from a place of the unknown. And that's all right. It's normal for them to come. You observe them, you say, isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting that when I want to do something super outrageous, you come in and you try to hold me back? Know who that is that's holding you back too. Know that thing is living in all of our minds. It wants to keep us safe. It wants to keep us where we are. We all have it. So you just kind of have that little dialogue, hey, isn't it interesting that you want to just sabotage my success? But has anybody ever cold called Elon Musk? Probably. Does he buy stuff from anybody? Yeah, chances are he does. So if it's possible for someone, is there even a slight chance, a little possibility that it could be possible for me? And as soon as you make agreement that it's possible, even a little bit, just a tiny, tiny agreement that it's possible, you've opened the door. You've opened the door. That's where it starts. Recognizing that it's possible for you. Do not bury that idea. Do not abort that idea. That idea came to you for a reason. I want you to start playing with that idea. Write it out. Think through it. Visualize yourself doing it. What would that even look like? Like if you're sitting in front of Elon Musk selling him your services, and imagine he bought whatever you're selling for every Tesla employee. How awesome would that be? Wouldn't that be great? Yes, it would. And what I know is it's possible for you. If he could create a rocket, I don't know why I'm picking on Elon Musk. I'm not picking on Elon Musk. I think the guy's just brilliant and amazing. He created a rocket that can go to the moon, and instead of burning off and kind of exploding these tens of millions of dollars worth of stuff, once that separates from the rocket, he found a way for it to come back to a floating ship somewhere in the ocean. Okay, come back and safely land so that they can reuse that again. He figured that out. Well, maybe his engineers figured it out. I don't know who. I'm sure it was his idea, but I don't know who figured it out. He's the leader, so we're going to give him the credit. So if that's possible, don't you think it's possible to make a call to a guy? Like, what's not possible for you? Think about it. What's really not possible for you? Nothing. I'm here to tell you, everything you want is possible for you. Everything I want is possible for me. And what stops us is that lack of belief. It's that freaking voice in our head that wants to keep us safe. And we end up not playing full out. And we can change that today, like starting now. Like you can stop this podcast that this is enough. You're pumped, and go do something you've been afraid to do right now and see that it's possible for you. All right, next. We have the ability to take control of how we view and relate to every situation. I wrote that specifically in this way. I didn't say we have the ability to take control of every situation, because surely we don't. I lived through a hurricane that was supposed to roll through. Thank God it missed us, but I mean there were still 100+ mile-an-hour winds here. Just last year, destroyed that hurricane, completely destroyed. Like 45 minutes, Fort Myers, 45 minutes away from where I am. You can't control every situation, right? So the way I phrased it was, we have the power and ability to take control of how we view every situation. See, every situation comes with it a little seed of adversity that we can grow through, a little seed of learning something new. It also comes with it a little seed that can make us into victims. But it's our choice. It's our choice how we react to the situation. The situation itself really doesn't matter. It could be whatever you want it to be. And so oftentimes people will ask, why do you go work out 5 a.m.? Why do you do stupid stuff like take your kid to the Squire program with Bedros Keuilian and, do dumb stuff all day where you guys are just putting yourself through different challenges and sitting in ice baths and crawling through mud and rocks and marching up like a freaking 2-mile mountain with heavy stuff? Like, why do you do that? Well, it's because I'm training myself to overcome difficulties. I'm training myself to overcome hard times. I want to be in peak physical shape for when shit hits the fan. Me and some F3 buddies, we went out for this event. It's called Cass Up, right? Completely stupid and utterly pointless. It's something that, it's been around for a while in F3, is designed to get us men to suffer together. It was not an easy morning. We met up at 5 a.m. and a little bit over 4 hours later, we were done. We ended up rucking, which is walking with, most of ours had a pack on that was about 35 pounds of weight in the pack. And then we did stupid challenges in that 4.5 hour time, including filling up sandbags, running up and down the beach with a big water bucket and filling up a bigger bucket, like just stupid relay races and things like that. Not easy stuff to do. But why do we do it? To be able to go through hard times in an easier way. I'll give you an example. As a teenager, you can imagine, as most teenagers do, I would get angry and stressed, and it's just, always a ball of nerves. Well, then I went to Marine Corps boot camp, and for 3 months in a row, like that's how long Marine Corps boot camp is. The drill instructors, their job is to break you down and create a Marine out of you. Well, one of the ways they do that is nonstop, like in the creation of a Marine, they put us through stress. Like we were under stress 24/7, besides the little hours that we slept at night. But from the time you woke up, I mean, you're waking up, it's a mad drill instructor that kicks in the door, lights go on, and they're throwing metal trash cans into the squad bay. It's making a ton of noise. Get up, get up. One guy's banging on the metal trash can. That's how you wake up from the bunk bed. And then they start counting 10, 9, 8. And like if your bed's not made and you're not dressed and online, which was like impossible, they would go and just make a mess, like Tasmanian devils. They would take your belongings, throw them in the middle of the squad bay, just make this huge mess. Why were they doing that? To put you under stress, like nonstop. Like, oh man, how am I supposed to get dressed and make my bed and do all this in 15 seconds and be online? They would create these almost impossible scenarios just so you would be extra stressed out. Well, what I realized was 3 months later, when I got home, I was like, I was at peace. It's almost like I'm living with the monks now. It's like nothing stressed me out. Nobody was waking me up and banging drums and throwing my stuff all across the room. And I came home after boot camp for 10 days. It was like the most peaceful 10 days of my life. Nothing changed about my house. It was the same, mom that would stress me out. It was the same friends, same scenarios. What changed? I changed. The way I handled stress changed. So even though we cannot control every situation, we can certainly control who we're being in that situation and how we react to that situation. And now we're going to take a quick pause to hear a word from our sponsor. Thank you. Hey, are you someone who's got big aspirations, big dreams, big goals? You've got this far and now maybe you're stuck. Maybe it's with, how do I open a business? Maybe it's, how do I close my biggest client? Maybe it's, how do I find that relationship and keep it? Whatever that next level of success may be for you, what I know is one-on-one coaching and one-on-one mentorship can be super unaffordable for everyone. And that's exactly why I started Relentless Goal Achievers. It's a group coaching tribe for like-minded, growth-minded individuals who want to get to their next level of success. And I made it super affordable. As a matter of fact, for the first 50 members, it's only $47 a month. That's for our founding members. And after that, it's going to go up to $67 a month. It's affordable either way. I invite you to check out the group and learn more about it. And if me and you need to have a call just so I can answer some questions for you, I'm happy to do that. Leave me a message with this podcast and we'll schedule a call. But check out the link somewhere in the description of this podcast episode. It should give you enough information of what this group is about. At the time of this recording, we have 35 members. There's 15 more spots left for that $47 slot. And I hope I'll see you in the tribe because I know I can help move that needle for you. And that's exactly why I made it super affordable. I want the masses to experience the power of a coach that can help them get to their next level. I'll see you in the tribe. And now back to our episode. Thank you. All right, next thing I wrote. You're such a powerful being. I want you to really understand that. I want you to understand how powerful you are. Whether you're, I don't know, hopefully if you listen to me, chances are you believe in a higher power. Chances are you're either Jewish, Christian, or you just believe in a higher power. Chances are, I don't know, those are the types of people I tend to attract. And one question I always ask the religious folks, not religious folks who have a relationship with a higher being, whether it be Jesus, whether it be Allah, whether it be Hashem, whatever you want to do. I usually ask them, where do you end and God begin? And, if God truly is omnipresent, then wouldn't that mean that God is in you? Wouldn't that mean that a part of us is God? I like to believe so. I believe that we are directly connected to God. That's my belief personally. I truly believe that. And if that is true for me, then how powerful I am knowing that God is always working in collaboration with me on what I'm doing. And if I just continue moving in the direction of what I believe I'm doing, in the direction of my faith, in the direction of my goals, that I'm unstoppable. Like, what if that's my belief? How powerful am I? How powerful are you? So, wouldn't it be better to replace those old beliefs about, us being not good in certain things, not being organized, not being a good listener, not being um, whatever it is that you tell yourself about yourself? Wouldn't it be great to just change that into something different? Plant a whole new seed in your mind of who you are. Wouldn't it be better to believe that about you? Because when you plant that seed, guess what's going to grow? Results from that seed. Like if you plant cherry seeds, you're going to get a cherry tree. You can't plant cherry seeds and get a watermelon. You just can't. But that's what we're doing all the time. We're planting these seeds of, I'm not worthy. I can't. I'm not good. I could never be an entrepreneur. I suck at selling. Nobody needs this. Nobody's going to buy this. And guess what the result is going to be when you, of the seed that you're planting deep in your mind. And the subconscious mind is going to take you wherever you want to go. That's where it's going to take you. It's like a GPS system. So the clearer you are, the faster you're going to get there. It's no different than turning on Waze and saying, I want to get to Disney World. There's no chance you're not going to get to Disney World. The input was very, very clear. There's no chance you're not going to get there with Waze. Now, you might get rerouted. You might get detoured. A tree might fall in the road. You might pause for a while and wait for it to get cleaned up. There's a lot of the something could happen along the way. But what I'm saying is get clear on the destination. And so the destination in this case are, who do you want to be? And I'm telling you right now, if you're planting the seeds of I'm not worthy, there's no way you're going to be worthy. There's just no way. You didn't enter that to be your destination. So you have that power to create yourself to be whoever you want. It's just a lot of people don't take advantage of it. And I'm asking you to do that. I'm asking you to change that. Take advantage of that. Create who you're going to do the deep work. Spend time with yourself. Figure out who you are. Figure out who do you want to be. What are the things you want to change? Work on that. Imagine that if every day you just improved a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. One thing I'm working on right now is being more present. A while back, I turned off all my notifications and then I turned some back on because I needed them, and then I turned others back on. And now when I work, it's like this phone is over here and I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to start leaving it in the other room. I wish I could tell you, I'm some perfect guy here with, that does all these things perfectly. I'm not. But there are some things I do really, really well. And other things I'm going to be working on all the time. One of the things I like to think that I do really, really well is think about what I think about. Where did the thought come from? Why do I believe that to be true? Why am I getting the results I'm getting? Why aren't they matching up to the results I truly want? Right. And I sit there and I take a deep dive. Why is that? And most of the time it comes back to my programming, it comes back to my BS, my belief system. But the thing about it is we can change it. We can reprogram it. The belief system doesn't have to be what it is today. We can create a whole new belief system. That's the truth. There's that quote, it's our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Can't remember who the lady was that wrote it, but our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And I'm telling you, you are powerful beyond measure. You can literally think, speak, and create something into existence. I'm living proof. I had the idea to create Relentless Goal Achievers. Shameless plug here. But that idea came to me, and I just want to create a really amazing group coaching experience for people who cannot afford a one-on-one coaching relationship, but still want to get to their next level. And so I did. I created this group. We just hit 1 month anniversary this week, which is amazing. And there are a little bit over 40 people in a group. I think 42 people right now. Out of nowhere, it was an idea. I spoke it. I shared the idea with a few other people. And now I have 42 people in a group. And we hop on Zoom calls. We have good discussions. I'm coaching people in some one-on-one scenarios here and there. Where did that come from? Where did this podcast come from? Where did this chair come from that I'm sitting on? Where did this iPad come from? Everything came from an idea. Everything came from an idea. And then taking action on that idea. I'm telling you guys, we are creators. And so here's the thing I learned this week that blew my mind and was amazing. So the word create and the word react have the same exact letters. Create and react have the same exact letters, except for create has an extra E. And that E is the difference between creating and reacting. And that E is energy, is the energy that we put towards creating that we don't put towards reacting. It's very easy to react. Something happened, my client called, they need this, I can go get that to them. It's not as easy. It's way more intentional. It takes that intentionality and that energy to, instead of waiting for the client to call the client and say, hey, I was thinking about your account. I was thinking about you. And I have an idea. I have an idea how we can go from point A to point B. Can we schedule a meeting? Because I think you're going to really love it. See, that takes energy and creativity and intentionality. And we all have the power to do it. We just don't, because it's not easy to do. It takes extra energy. But we all have the power to create. Now, you can create any life you want. You can create yourself to be whoever you want. I'm not talking about like, hey, if you want to be a doctor, go be a doctor. I'm not, that's what you do. That's not who you be. A lot of us have a to-do list. Not a lot of us have a to-be list. To be intentional, to listen, to be loving, to be kind, to be gentle, to be a force, to be a creator, like all those things. Like, just did we decide to be any of that yet? And so if we don't intentionally decide to create that which we want, if we don't intentionally decide to create the person we want to be, then we will let outside circumstances create us for ours. And I'm asking you not to do that. It's way more fun when you decide who you want to be and then create it. And the first place it starts is with a decision. I had to decide to become an author before I could write a book. If I didn't think I was an author, I'd never write a book. That's the messed up part. It's a tricky thing here, right? Like right now I'm training for a marathon. Initially, I hated running. This is like way out of my comfort zone. But I had to decide that I'm going to be a marathon runner before I got a coach to train me to be a marathon runner. Jim Rohn used to say, if somebody gives you $1 million, you better quickly become a millionaire. What's he saying? He's saying that first you got to become a millionaire to be able to even handle $1 million. Now, this was, 70s and 80s that he was running around talking, but same principles apply today. You are way more powerful than you know. I'm telling you, you got the ability to create anything you want. I so believe that for you. I so believe that for you. And the last thing I'm going to add is be an advocate for people's dreams. There are too many of us that insert our stupid ass ideas when somebody tells us their dream. I was talking to a young man from India yesterday, and he's got this huge dream. I mean, huge dream. He's got this huge dream to revamp sports and the way sports are viewed and played in India. And he says, yeah, but my parents, every time I mention it, they tell me I'm an idiot and that'll never work. How do they know? How do they know? I wish I could just shake his parents and say, shut the fuck up. I wish I could do that. Because how do they know? Why are they murdering his dream? We all have a tendency to do that. And it's so subconscious, you know? It's so subconscious. And I've shared this story about my little guy a couple of weeks ago when I'm driving him to school, and he sees two eagles on a pole. And I said, look, there's two eagles. He's like, Daddy, that means it's my lucky, lucky day. I said, why is that? He said, well, when I see one eagle, it's a good day. But when there's two eagles, that's like the lucky day. I said, okay, so what does that mean? I'm like, you think like you'll win $1,000,000 today? He's like, Daddy, I didn't even buy a lottery ticket. How am I going to win $1,000,000? I said, okay, good point. I said, well, what if there's an old lady and you help her out and she gives you $1,000,000? What would you do? No hesitation whatsoever. He looks at me. He's like, I'd ask her for 12 million. Now, as a father, I could have said, and probably my parents would say, don't be greedy, don't be stingy. Who would need $12 million? Like, why would I ever do that? Instead, what I said was, what would you do with that? And he said, that Lamborghini and whatever the model is, I guess there's a $12 million Lamborghini out there. He said, I would buy that and then you can drive me to school in it. That's the imagination of that little kid. And at some point along the way, that gets ruined by other people, by friends who think that his idea is stupid, by parents who think that their ideas won't work. The question is, if you're the person that tells people like your opinions about their ideas, you got to stop and ask yourself, how do I know? How do I know this won't work? You don't. Really, what we're doing is we're imposing what we think about us on somebody else. And you're doing them a disservice. Instead, be a dream builder for them. Somebody says, I'm gonna start this business, you're the perfect one. You are the perfect one to start it. I couldn't think of anybody better than you. I I so believe in you. I'm so proud of you. What are you going to do? What's going to be your first step? How can I help you? Those are the things that we need. We need more ignition for their fire. Like we need to ignite that fire under them so that they can get to their dreams. We need more people living out their dreams because way too many of us are now living our fear. And I'm telling you, everything we want, everything you want, everything I want, everything your kids want is possible for them. It's possible. Just if you can make one tweak out of this podcast episode, if you can just make one tiny tweak, and as soon as that little crappy voice comes in and starts putting holes in your idea, just ask yourself, but is it possible? Is there a slight, tiny, little possibility that it could be a reality? And I'm telling you, the answer is yes. Whatever it is, the answer is yes. You just got to go spend time with you and you. All right. The other thing I have realized, and this is the last thing, is that no one is coming to save any of us. No one's coming. If it's to be, it's up to me. Do not wait for anybody else to create whatever it is that you want to create. Do not. No one's coming to help you. It's up to you. Go do it now because this is the youngest you'll ever be. This is probably you're probably energetic. I'm not going to say that because maybe you're not as energetic right now. You can recreate yourself, but you can never get younger. So this is the youngest that you're ever going to be, but you can be more energetic. You can be in better shape. You can be more attentive. You can be a better researcher. You can start reading books. You can start taking courses. You can apply for whatever program it's going to take to create whoever it is that you want to be. You can start setting goals. You can create anything that you want, and everything you want is possible for you. That's my episode for today. Super inspirational, I hope. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe, like, share it, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about it. Would love to have you take a look at Relentless Goal Achievers. I'm sure there was an ad that popped up, but somewhere along in the comment section, my favorite podcast producer, Mav, probably put the link in, which I know she did. And until we hit 50 members, it's going to stay at $47 a month. After 50, it's going to go to $67 a month. The group is on fire. We're starting to get our groove on kind of moving in the right direction. We have 3 calls every single week. There's a Monday call, that's a teaching call, 2 calls, one on Tuesday, one on Thursdays, that are open Q&A coaching calls. Last night we had our very first networking call where we just got to know each other a little bit better, and people talked about what they did. And everybody's starting to drive a little bit more. So would love to have you explore it. Click on a link somewhere in the show, and I hope I'll see you in the tribe. Thanks for tuning in, and have an awesome day.